punter, Mike goes up. First team wide receiver, Tucker Dicker. First team linebacker, Eric Kincaid. We also had some guys make the All-State team. This was voted on by the Iowa Sports Print Writers Association, which is basically a bunch of different sports writers in the state of Iowa that get together and vote on this. Also, the coaches throughout the state have some say on this as well. We had 3 All-Staters this year. Third team offensive line, Nolan Kagan. We had third team All-State safety, Tucker Dicker. And we had second team All-State linebacker, Eric Kincaid. Real quick on Tucker and Eric, looking back on the history of All-State football players in Camanche history, these are the first 2 players to be back-to-back All-State football players. They both were All-State as juniors, and now they're All-State as seniors. So that's a pretty good accomplishment in the entire history of Camanche. These are the only 2 that have been back-to-back All-Staters. So we can talk about yeah, that's impressive. All right, next thing we got here, we go with the individual player write-ups that I have, and then closing words, and I'll get you guys out of here. I'm probably tired of listening to me talk already, but so the varsity, all the varsity players get these binders, as I mentioned, that my wife helps put together here. And then for each kid, there's a little bit of a write-up that I have on them that I'll talk. So when I call your name up, you're going to come up here and stand with me until I'm done talking about you, and then you can go sit down. Okay? Some of you will be up here longer than others, but that's the way it goes. Ethan Ralston, you're first. So Ethan here, primarily a JV player. He dressed varsity for us. He played offensive line and outside linebacker for the JV. It was his first year as an offensive lineman. Okay, kind of converted him. I always like to convert a skill guy to the line, and he was the sophomore that we did there. And he didn't have any issues with it. Didn't complain about it. Got better as the year went on at the JV level, and did a really nice job for them. Has a solid work ethic. He's going to put in a good off season. He's got potential to fill a varsity role next year. Good job. Ashton Beal. So Ashton, offensive line, defensive lineman for us. Most of his time at the JV level. The solid lineman, big boy here, good center, good snapper, strong, physical football player. Really looking forward to what he can do for us in the future as a Camanche football player. Unfortunately, his season was cut a little short. He had season-ending shoulder surgery. He's healing up from that right now, recovering from that. He's going to attack his recovery, he's going to do the job, he's going to come back ready to go. He's going to have a monster junior year for us as a varsity player. Good job, Bill. Luke Garstan. Luke, wide receiver, DB, special teams a little bit for varsity. Played most of his time at the JV level. Luke is just a tough kid, hard-nosed kid. Isn't gonna talk your ear off or say a whole lot to you. He's just gonna do what he does. He listens to the coaches. Very coachable kid. In the couple games he was able to play, he had a really nice year for the JV guys. Unfortunately, he's working through some back issues and a back injury that's kind of holding him out right now. But hopefully that recovery goes well and Luke's able to get back on the field for us next year and contribute. Good job, Luke. Brody, offensive line, defensive lineman for us. Again, saw most of his time at the JV level this year. Another kid that has bought into the program. He's gotten stronger in the offseason. He keeps battling in the weight room. I'm going to sound kind of like a broken record. We had a lot of injury issues this year. So Brody also missed a couple of games because of shoulder issue. He's going to need surgery for that as well. Hopefully, after recovery, he battles back and gets back into it. He's going to contribute for us next year as a junior. Looking forward to seeing Brody's improvements as he moves on. Good job, Brody. Tristan Smith. Tristan was kind of started out as a running back. JD had some injury issues we talked about. He played some offensive line, snapped the ball a little bit for him, played linebacker. Again, you can see from his little smile here, he's a kid that'll do anything for you, anything for the team. He's the old adage, you tell him to run through the wall, he'd do it for you. Okay? But he's just a good kid, tough kid, hardworking kid, great work ethic. Is going to do, like I said, he's going to do anything he can to help his team, help him. Really looking forward to see what he can do for us next year as a varsity player. Jeremy, offensive line, defensive line. He played some special teams for varsity. Again, most of his time was at the JV level. Jeremy's a pretty quiet kid, kind of like a no-nonsense kid. Works extremely hard, gets after it on the defensive line and offensive line. Super intelligent. You can tell him something one time and he's got it, and he's able to do it. And he had a monster JV season. It went really well, and he's gotten into the weight room. He's buying into that now. He's going to have a good season for us next year. We're looking forward to it. Bryce was quarterback DB. Again, primarily at the JV level. He saw some quarterback time at the end of games at the varsity level. But this kid here made great improvements in his JV year. He was outstanding as a quarterback at the JV level. Night and day difference from his freshman year to sophomore year. I couldn't be any more proud of the way he led that JV team to a 6-2 record and what he did on the field. He also is a good leader. Okay? He's not a super vocal kid. We're trying to get him to be more vocal and things, but with the JV group, I mean, he's telling kids where to go, where to be, and did a great job with that. That's going to help him in the future at the varsity level to be where he needs to be. I'm looking forward to seeing his progress in the offseason and contributing next year as a varsity guy. Josh is a wide receiver, defensive back. Saw some special teams time at the varsity level. Another kid that had a really great JV season. He's kind of their go-to receiver and a really good corner on defense. Kind of like the shutdown corner for that team. Another kid that's going to come in and just work as hard as he possibly can. Works his butt off every day in practice, in every game. He just wants to get better and continues to get better. And has really turned himself into a really solid football player for us, and really looking forward to seeing what he can do next year as a varsity guy. Good job, guys. kid that we moved to the offensive line, and he didn't have any complaints or anything about it, and did a really nice job for us there. Mainly a JV player. He got to see some varsity time as the season progressed at linebacker. And when he was in there, he did a really nice job, I thought, for us. And another kid is a strong, hard-nosed kid. Again, not gonna say a whole lot, but he's gonna do what he needs to do to get better and do his job. And he's gonna have a good off season in the weight room. He's been doing that. Really looking forward to seeing him contribute next year as a junior. Good job, Lance. Mark is a running back, linebacker, and saw some special teams time at the varsity level. Again, mostly JV player. His rushing stats as a JV player were awesome this year. He had a lot of big plays. Good runner. He's got great vision. He's got good speed, and he runs hard and finishes runs. And he's got potential to be a pretty good offensive player for us next year at the varsity level. Looking forward to him having a solid offseason and contributing next year. Trey Carter. I'm not going to tell any stories. You're right. Trey played wide receiver, a little running back, outside linebacker for us at the JV level and varsity level, and special teams time at the varsity level. Trey, again, hard-nosed type of kid. Okay? Works hard. He's got no fear. Okay? He's not afraid to mix it up, not afraid to make contact with anybody. He's got good football instincts, and he's a really good blocker on the edge as a wide receiver and a running back. When he gets the ball, he runs hard and does a lot of nice things for us. Played a decent amount of varsity for us as a sophomore, probably more on the defensive side of the ball, but did a lot of nice things, and really looking forward to seeing what he can do in an extended role next year as a varsity back. So this sophomore group, real quick, and I know Coach Matt kind of alluded to it a little bit, but all of these sophomores, even the ones that didn't dress varsity, when these guys were like 7th and 8th graders, they won one game as 7th graders, and they won one game as 8th graders. But this group there's 15 of them. Okay, they've all stayed together. They all work extremely hard, and they bought into the weight room. And now they're seeing that kind of success and that work ethic, and they bought into what the coaches are telling them and what we're doing. And these guys are going to continue to do that, and they're going to do big things for us as they move on as varsity players. So I appreciate everything those guys have done for us. No, that's just the guys that are good for us. That's helpful. Yeah. Now on to juniors. Dalen not here. We got Devin Hewling. Devin offensive line, defensive lineman for us. See, Devin's big, strong, powerful kid. Puts up crazy stuff in the weight room and translates that to the football field really well. He played two games for us this year. Fortunately, he kind of had a lot of injury issues, some shoulder issues, some knee issues. He's got a couple of surgeries here. He already had one, got another one today under his belt here. So unfortunately, his season was cut short due to injury. But hopefully he can get back to us, have a good offseason and good recovery. We're going to need him next year as a senior. He's going to do big things for us at the varsity level next year in his recovery. Thanks, Hunter Long. see he's not the biggest guy around, but this kid isn't afraid to mix up with anybody. He's got no fear. Again, I know I used the run through the wall at it, but this is the best example that we could have for that. This kid will do anything for you. With the size, usually you don't think of a kid like him playing defensive line, but we had some injuries on the line. We wanted some quick guy, like pass rush, so we're like, Hunter Long will do it. So we throw Hunter Long in there, and he really did a nice job for us. At times, I know he's frustrated. Sometimes some of the bigger guys kind of took to him a little bit, but again, he just keeps battling, keeps going. Appreciate that for what he does for the team and to help us out. Hunter's going to have to see an extended role next year as a senior, and I think he'll do a good job for us. I'm looking forward to that. Good job, Hunter. Minnie is offensive line, defensive lineman for us. Started the year as a backup offensive lineman, defensive lineman, but this kid just works his tail off in everything he does. Weight room, football field. We helped Brent Holstein move. I don't know what we were moving, but we had pallets of stuff we're moving in a warehouse, and this kid is just going to town. There's people in there like, we hired him as a worker. Like he's unbelievable, just stacking this stuff up. But anything he does, he just works hard. Just goes about his business. He's going 100% all the time. Did everything he could to improve as a football player. Wanted to improve as a football player. Asking Coach Graham and myself a lot what he can do to get on the field a lot. And then, unfortunately, we had injury to Jason Johnson late in the year, and that's where Minnie stepped in and took over his spot and got varsity experience, started in 3 games, and did a really nice job for us. And that experience he got is going to help him into next year. He's going to improve even more. We're looking forward to seeing that from him. Okay, offensive line, defensive lineman for us. So a little story about Petey here. He's never been an offensive line or defensive lineman. He's always been a running back or a linebacker type kid. So I came to him last off season and I said, hey, you either got to move to line or you're not going to see the field, basically is what I told him. And some kids hear that and either say they don't want to do it or they don't do it and then they don't play. But Petey here, first a little hesitant, a little unsure about it, but Coach Graham and myself gave him a lot of reassurance in the offseason that he'd be able to do it, that he could do it, and ended up being a starter all year, offensive line and defensive line for us. And it's kind of a testament to the kid that he is. Again, we got so many guys here that aren't selfish kids and are going to do what is best for the team, and that's a sign of good teams when you got kids like this that are going to sacrifice, a spot they played their whole life or a position that they don't know how to play or don't want to play, and you did it and didn't complain about it once, at least not to us. I don't know, but and it did a great job. On defense, he had 22.5 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and just continued to get better all year. Looking forward to seeing his improvements next year. Banquet, he wide receiver, defensive back for us this year, contributed on special teams as well. Zane, hardworking kid, okay. Again, I know it's kind of like a repeating theme here, but we have seriously a lot of kids that just bust their butts. Works hard, can do whatever he can that's best for the team. Doesn't complain about anything, just does his job and does what he needs to do. He's an outstanding teammate and accepts his role. He primarily was a blocking receiver, okay? And if you're a receiver, that's usually not what you want to do. receiver. You want to catch the ball, score touchdowns, get yards, all that. What do you have? 1 or 2 catches on the year? One catch on the year. And again, this is a kid that didn't mention one time to anybody about his stats, how many catches he has. He knew that when I called red package, he's running out there and he's going to block. Okay? He just knew that's what he was going to do. He did it. He did it really well and got better as the year went on. He's probably one of our better blocking receivers there. He's going to continue to work hard. He's going to continue to get better. Looking forward to having him get one more year. Good job, man. Garrett, wide receiver, defensive back for us. So Garrett was put into a pretty large role as a junior, starting both ways as a first-year varsity player, and did really well for us this year. Again, he does everything he can to get better each and every practice, each and every game. He asks good questions sometimes, but no. He was the third leading receiver on our team, had the third most yards with 229, had 29.5 tackles, 4 interceptions on the season, and made a lot of big plays for us this year. Some plays that kind of maybe not showing up on the stat sheet or the record book or whatever, but Garrett did a really nice job. He's going to have an even bigger role next year, especially on the offensive side. I really look forward to seeing that next year. Or fresh, whatever you want to call him. He was a running back, wide receiver, outside linebacker, inside linebacker, special teams guy for us. Basically, a guy, jack of all trades. A kid that we could tell, we could put him on line if he wanted, and he would do a good job and would do it. You did? Oh, yeah, he had to run in on Monticello. Yeah, he played tackle one play. Yeah, so on top of that, he's just a super intelligent kid, intelligent football player. He has good ideas. He comes back and he's like, hey, maybe we should try this, or I see this, and we'll do it. And usually I listen to the guys that are on the field playing. And with that, some packages he was a running back, some he was a wide receiver, and he knew everything he had to do, and usually knew what the other guys had to do too. And then when he had his ankle injuries, also back of the huddle, helping Trey out with the offensive plays when he was in there, telling him where to go, and just did a great job. Great attitude, great work ethic, and that's led him to be as successful as he's been as a football player. He had 481 total yards of offense. He's second on our team in tackles with 52. He's bought into the weight room. He's gotten in the weight room. He's gotten super strong in the last couple of years. He's going to continue to do that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do next year for us as a senior. Tags here, offensive line, linebacker, a little bit of defensive line, and certain schemes for us on defense. He's a tough, physical football player, another hard-nosed type kid, and has really turned himself into a really good football player these last couple of years as a 2-year starter for us on varsity. And then next year is going to be a 3-year starter for us. He's probably progressed into one of our best linemen overall, and has done a really nice job of kind of assuming a little bit of a leadership role with that junior group, and is going to have to continue to do that next year as a senior, and I know he will. He was 4th in our team in tackles, 46, 5.5 tackles for loss. He's bought into what we're doing as a program. That's led him to be a better teammate, a better person, a better kid. He's matured a lot over the years. Unfortunately, he's got to have another shoulder surgery here in the off season coming up. But again, I know he's gonna fight back from that. He's gonna come back stronger from that as well. He's gonna have another monster senior year for us this year. So Shark last year, the junior, didn't play very much. Okay, and he knows that. He didn't let that affect him. He came in his senior year, ready to work, ready to get better, and stuck with the program, believed in us as coaches, believed in himself as a football player, and did everything he could to see the field this year as a senior. He ended up starting on the defensive line for us and playing a lot on that side of the ball. He continued to improve throughout the year, throughout the season. Was a really good teammate. Again, there's no issues, great attitude, just a good kid. He spent dedicated 4 years of his life to our football program. And I can't thank him enough for that and everything he's done for us as a program and as a football player. And I really look forward to see what he does in his future, and good luck. Jason Johnson would be the next one. I'll go ahead and read it because his parents are in the house here. Jason couldn't be with us. He had to work today, but he was offensive defensive lineman for us. Again, kind of like Gavin, he didn't play much his junior year, but both of those kids came in ready to go in the off season and attacked their senior year and did a really nice job for us. Jason was offensive guard, started every game on the offensive line for us up until before senior night against Tipton. In practice, he injured his ankle and wasn't able to continue throughout the season. But again, he continued to improve and got better as the year went on. At the beginning of the year, we had a little struggle, but he kept getting better, kept asking good questions. Coach Grimm, Coach Mack really got him going on the offensive line. He's a smart player and just turned into be a really good football player for us and had a solid senior year. Like I said, unfortunately, the season ended early with the foot injury, but he still remained a good teammate. He's positive around our guys, and I want to also thank Jason for the 4 years of his time and commitment to our program, and also wish him luck as well in the future. Defensive lineman. Another kid came in every day, was ready to work his butt off. He got better every day he could. Took pride in being a lineman and wanted to be the best he possibly could be. I've talked to Louis about this before, so I hope he's okay. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I hope he's okay with sharing this. But Louis came into our program his freshman year. Never really played football, didn't really know much about it. Gonna be honest with you, he didn't really know how to run right. Okay? No, I'm not trying to be mean, but he just came in and just wanted to figure things out, wanted to work hard, and it's a kid that it's a really cool story because he just kept learning the game, kept improving. He just kept working his butt off, and every year I'm like, God, we're always like, Louis getting better, you know, and worked so hard, and then again his junior year didn't play much. Again, didn't say a word. Came in his senior year ready. He's like, I'm gonna be a starter. He just knew it. He had that mindset, and ended up starting both ways for us, and just had an unreal senior season, and just the transformation that he made. I know a lot of you had to see him as a freshman, but the transformation this kid made from his freshman year to senior year was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. And it's a lesson to you younger guys sitting here. Okay? Louis, you didn't play much as a freshman, right? Louis hardly played as a freshman. And so some of you freshmen that may not have played very much this year, okay, don't let that get you down. This kid came in and worked every day, got better and better and better. Now he's an all-district lineman. He's a Quad City, Eastern Iowa honorable mention lineman. Just bought into what we're doing, and it's a really cool story, and it just shows that if you believe in yourself, you believe in what your coaches are telling you, and work hard, you can achieve your goals and be successful, and it's just really cool. And I know being part of this program meant a lot to Louis, and it means a lot to me, and I appreciate everything he did in his 4 years, and his dedication to men's football. is probably out of all the kids here, he is the kid that probably watches the most college football, professional football, just loves the game of football, period. Not only this program, but everything else. He would do anything for anybody sitting up here, any of us coaches. He'd do anything for this team. He's an extremely intelligent kid, intelligent football player. He did a really nice job for us this year. He started the season as a backup player, and unfortunately we had the injury to Zach, and he stepped in and filled that role, and did a really nice job. He did his job every single time, knew what he had to do, knew his abilities, and knew how to defend receivers, and very rarely got beat as a corner, and come up and make plays and tackle. He had 19 and a half tackles on defense. He's a kid that has been kind of waiting his turn to get to where he is, and has never complained about anything, and really appreciate everything he's done for this program in the 4 years that he's been here. And thanks. Good luck. Offensive line, center, played a little bit of defensive line as well, and special teams for us, varsity level. Again, I kind of sound like the same thing, another classic example of waiting your turn. Okay, I always tell kids, like, your freshman year and your junior year, a lot of times are the hardest for kids. Because a lot of times, they may not see as much time as they want, or maybe think they want. Sometimes a freshman that doesn't play very much that never comes back, or maybe a junior that doesn't play very much in the varsity year doesn't come back. But all of these guys that we just talked about came back and waited their turn, and again, just came in ready to work, ready to battle, and he had the center position coming in. We were going to give him a shot. So it's his to have, his to lose, and he kept it, and he kept it all year, and just did an outstanding job. Every single one of our snaps on offense was shotgun, and I don't know, Mike, I remember one bad snap all year. That's it, seriously. And I mean, that's just awesome. How many you got? Three. So three bad snaps, but still, out of all of our offensive plays are in that. But that's still really impressive. They only had those 3 bad snaps, and in my book, 1, I'll say. But and not only that, he also has to block the guy in front of him or next to him, and just did a great job. He would constantly be after practice. He'd take extra snaps. In the off season, he went to camps. He went and got individual lessons, and did everything he could to be a good football player, and to buy in and make sure he was successful, and did a really nice job. He ended up being an all-district offensive lineman, all Eastern Iowa Quad City Times honorable mention offensive lineman. He's dedicated 4 years of his life to the football program. I appreciate everything he's done, and he's a good job. Zach was wide receiver, defensive back. He played 1 full game, got injured week 2 against DeWitt. As a lot of you know, unfortunately, ACL injury cut his season short. Sucked, obviously. He's on track. He's going to have a big year for us. He really was. And despite the injury, he'd show up like the smile here. It's just contagious, you know. Like he showed up with a smile on his face every day, good spirits, good teammate. You would think that nothing's wrong with him, and that's just a testament to this kid. And not to he's showing that nothing's going to keep him down. He's attacking the rehab and everything. Just the definition of a great teammate. Do anything for these guys. I want to thank everything Zach's done for us as a football program and being a great role model for these younger guys. And I can't wait to see what he does on the basketball floor as a college player. Adam Dunlap. Adam was a wide receiver, outside linebacker for us, special teams contributor as well. Another great varsity season Adam had for us this year. His junior year, he bought into what we were doing as a program. We kind of moved him to a different position as a linebacker. He's always a defensive back, and he just accepted the role. Has never said no, I'm not going to do that, or didn't want to do it. Got coached up, and it just was a great defensive player for us the last 2 years. He's respectful, he's coachable. Again, would do anything for anybody here, and would do anything to make him the best player he could possibly be and do whatever's best for the team. His work ethic's outstanding. If you ever come to one of our practices and we do our sidelines, our kids love the sidelines. It's a conditioner drill where we go sidelines, we go 3 down and backs and we time it. And every single time this kid won. Okay? It didn't matter how tired he was, how hot or cold or windy or whatever, he would win. He won every single one, right? Okay? He won every single one. He won every single conditioner. That's just a testament to how hard he works and how much he wants it to get better. And you can't thank him for nothing. It's just a great example for the younger guys as well. Adam was a 2-year all-district player. He's the second leading receiver on our team, 27 catches, 267 yards. He had 26 and a half tackles on defense. Another kid that spent 4 years in our program, has continued to get better, continued to work hard, and appreciate everything he's done for us, his contributions as a Camanche football player we miss, and I wish him luck with his future. Eric, linebacker, running back for us this year. Huge contributor on special teams as well, on kickoff and punts and stuff like that for us. He is a blue collar type kid. Bring your lunch pail to work, whatever you want to call it. One of the toughest kids I've ever coached in my life. Just hard nosed, outstanding work ethic. And there's not many people that are going to outwork him, and just does a fantastic job. He's constantly giving great examples of how to lead by example and what it takes to be a quality teammate. He also wasn't afraid to speak up as a leader if he had to. And clearly our workhorse in the running game, he had 160 carries for 861 yards. He anchored our defense, led us in tackles with 78. He had 10 tackles for loss, which led our team. He's been a first-team all-district player his 2 years of varsity football, and as I mentioned, 2-time all-state football player as well. Unfortunately, as you can see here, he's in crutches and the little boot here. The game got cut short against Waukon. He got injured, but again, like so many of our other guys here, they're not going to let that define him. He's going to battle back. He's going to be back for the wrestling. He's going to do what he does there and dominate on the mat. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. Again, another kid that spent 4 years in our program, and his contributions to our program have been outstanding. As you can tell when I read those individual records, he's in there a lot. Seriously going to be missed as a football player. Not only that, but as a kid and a human being, and the type of kid he is seriously going to be missed here. And appreciate everything he's done. wide receiver, defense back, safety, kick returner, punt returner for us this year. 3-year starter as well. Said this a lot about Tucker, but he's what I call a gamer. He knew everything what you're going to get from him. He's going to make plays for you, and he did that a lot this year for us and over his varsity career. He always plays hard. He's a kid that you want on your side and does a lot of really nice things. Extremely intelligent kid, extremely intelligent football player. He's always in the right spot on defense. This year, sometimes in the right spot, didn't always make the tackle, but he's always there. He's always able to. He's always able to find the open spots on offense. I don't know how many times like Mike's scrambling and I'm watching. I'm like, that's not open. All of a sudden you see Tuck and he's there, and Mike finds him. And it's just incredible to see what he can see on the field and find that spot. And that's obviously going to be missed as a receiver in our program. Not only that, he ran great routes. He's got incredible hands. Not many balls that he dropped over the last couple of years that I can remember. Even catches in traffic, he did a great job. As I mentioned, he had 77 catches for 1,000 yards. He had 47 tackles, which was third on our team, and 6 interceptions on defense. Like I said, just made a ton of big plays all year for us on both sides of the ball. Had an outstanding senior year to end his great football career here. First team, all-district player 2 years in a row, all-stater 2 years in a row. Another thing we're going to miss about Tucker is just his ability to find out inside information on everything. It's unreal. I can send Tuck a text and be like, hey, what's going on with this kid at Northeast? And 5 minutes later, this, and this. It's just unreal. But he says he's still going to help me out in that department next year. But anyway, seriously though, appreciate everything that he's done for us. He's dedicated 4 really solid years to our program. And can't thank him enough for that. And really going to be missed as a football player here at Camanche, and look forward to seeing what he does in the future. Mike Delzell. All right, Mike was quarterback, linebacker, punter for us this year. Mike is one of those kids that's just simply a competitor in everything he does. Playing a golf game in his backyard or whatever, he can compete and try to win it. Okay, everything he does, he wants to win. The other thing with that is he's just an outstanding leader. Our kids follow his lead. He knows how to bring kids together. He knows how to get on kids, and does a great job leading by example, and is a great example of that for these younger guys as well. He's probably one of the smartest football players I've ever coached. There'd be a lot of times we're talking to him on the sideline or him coming off the field. There'd be times where the play didn't work. It was probably Mike's play call, though. I'll give him that. But no, seriously, he'd come off sidelines and we'd do wristbands, and he'd be like, hey, 22. And I'd look at him like, all right, here we go. So there'd be times where I'd let him, kind of call his plays. He could audible plays and had free reign to do that. And seriously though, he usually made the right call and was able to see things on the field that maybe I couldn't see or couldn't see from above. So appreciate that. It's basically like having another coach out there. He had just an outstanding career as a Camanche football player, as a quarterback. I mentioned all those records I listed off, and his name got brought up a lot. Another stat that I haven't mentioned yet that I thought was pretty impressive, I didn't notice this until I was looking back at stats throughout the state, but he led 2A in completion percentage. He completed 62.9% of his passes, which is pretty impressive too. We threw the ball over 230 times, so it's a lot of passes that he threw, and to complete that much is a pretty impressive stat. He also played linebacker for us, had 34 tackles, fifth most on our team. So again, a lot of times you don't see a quarterback linebacker combination. Just shows his toughness and his ability there. Constantly making huge plays for us as a quarterback, and it was a huge reason why we were able to make a second round playoff run in his second year in a row. He's first team all district player 2 years in a row, first team all Eastern Iowa player 2 years in a row. I forgot to mention this about Eric too, but Mike's a finalist for Offensive Player of the Year in the Clinton Herald, and Eric's a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year in the Clinton Herald. Sorry, I forgot to mention that, Eric. But Mike will go down as one of the best quarterbacks that we've had in Camanche football history, as you can see from the record books and the records that he holds. Just a quality 4 years that this kid put into the program, and what he did for Camanche football to bring it to where it is. And it was just an absolute pleasure to coach, and we're really going to miss him as a player in our program, as a kid, and his contributions will be greatly missed, and I wish him luck in the future. I know I went a little long, but let's go and give everybody a round of applause. Also, thanks everybody for coming today and spending some time on your Sunday afternoon with us. And also, thanks for all the support, great support from you parents and everything. And if you want to stick around afterwards and get a picture of the trophy or the banner, feel free. You're more than welcome to do that as well. But then Eric's got to say something here, I guess. So
I got to say something first. So he does all this talking for an hour and 40 minutes and what the heck it is. Let's thank him for everything he's done.